Hello dear YouTuber friends, and I do hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. This one is a review of the Miltech Supercarrier module from Microsoft Flight Simulator. This came completely out of left field. I wasn't expecting anything of this fidelity from Microsoft Flight Sim. Typically, you would find something like this in DCS world. But here it is. It's a fully functional supercarrier with catapults, parking bays, hangars, static aircraft, as you can see here, arrestor wires, as you can see there as well. I'm going to talk you through this module, give you a few demonstrations of how it works. I'll show you it's actually quite a lot of fun for a very low price. Well, okay, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, for this part of the video, I'm in desktop mode. There's a good reason for this, which I'll show you in a moment. Firstly, you get the supercarrier, or I got it from Orbix, for around just over £14. So Orbix Central. I'll link that down in the description and show you a screenshot on screen there. Just over £14, including taxes or the equivalent in your own money. Let's take that off screen. And then you just install it with Orbix Central. It installs, if you've got it pointed to your flight sim library, straight to your simulator. Okay, so when you've done that, you need to find these supercarriers. Big shout out to Steve Chanzy. He actually showcased this in a live stream, well, in a stream in our Discord last night. So thanks very much, Steve. I had no idea about this module. He also linked this website, and it shows you, it's from Miltech Simulations, it shows you the locations of all the different carriers. So you've got a moving carriers you can go to. There's a bit of a caveat with moving carriers. It will actually spawn you in above the carrier. You've also got static carriers like the San Diego one here. And that's what I'm going to do in the sim. Now I'm flying the FDC Designs F14 Tomcat. Gonna link my review that I did for flightsim.com. I actually did a written article on this, so that's linked down below, the F14 in the description. It's quite an old module now. And members, YouTube members, so those of you who are signed up for membership on YouTube, I did do a video, first impressions on this. Go and look out for that in the members video. But there you go. I'm over San Diego, and what I'm going to do, this will spawn me right on top of the carrier. This is what I suggest you do. Choose a static. So go back to this website, choose a static carrier. So one of the static carriers here, or here. And then just click on that, set as departure, and you'll spawn on the actual carrier. So let's go do that. So here we go, I'm spawned in, ready to go on the San Diego carrier, as you can see in the F14. Now these aircraft here, I'll give you an overview of the carrier later, but these aircraft here are all static and they come with the carrier. So these are not movable aircraft, or they don't move, I believe. We got a conning tower there, and various different things here. Now when you load in your top toolbar, you'll notice a new icon there from Miltech Supercarriers. So if you click on that, it'll bring up a box and you can move this around. Typically it'll have landing. What we want to go to first is controls. Well, actually what I would suggest is to go to this icon here, and it gives you an overview. You can open the detailed documentation there if you want to, but it will give you an overview of what you need to do. And I'm actually going to show you this anyway. There is a settings tab as well, but we won't get into that for the moment. As you can see on the carrier, you've got 4 catapults. 1, 2, 3, 4. So one here, one here, one here, and one there. Now what you can do here, I'm going to line up on this catapult here, which means I'm going to have to push back, but there's an easy way to do this. you can click on the box, click on your chosen catapult there, click quick taxi, make sure that's highlighted, throttle up a little bit, and with your flight controls, let's just make sure I'm moving. With your flight controls, I'm actually just using my XPC yoke for this, in fact. You can move forwards and backwards with your flight controls to line up. You'll notice this has gone yellow. I can cheat a little bit here. Click that button. It will line me up with the catapult. You see these characters around your aircraft as well. These are the sort of signal officers, or the flight crew rather, just helping you line up with the carrier. I'm very close to that blast shield, but never mind. So let's get in the cockpit and turn on my Toby eye tracking. Link to that video down below because it's easy to look around. And then what you want to do, get back outside. I'm going to throttle up. I'm going to burn the back of my aircraft because I'm so close there. It's usually a bit further forward, but throttle up. Get back in the cockpit and click this icon here. It's like a play. Now give this a second. Watch these characters. See what they're doing. Give it a second. Wait for the roller coaster ride now, chaps. Go! Ooh, zoom! I'm going to have to look down, actually turn my eye tracking off for a second. Take my gear up. And take my flaps up and maybe trim down as well. There you go. I'm airborne. And then you can go for a fly around, of course. Okay, let's get ourselves back on the carrier. And there we go, we're back on a carrier. We're actually on a moving carrier here in a completely different aircraft. I'm in the Quickie if you want to. I'm going to leave this to your imagination. And if you buy this, you can try this yourself. But you can actually line this up on a catapult and it will catapult you off in a Quickie. Or Cessna 172 or 182. On the moving carriers, you can see those lines behind, those artifacts behind. Now I'm getting this, I've researched this a little bit. It seems to be more a fault with the sim rather than the module at the moment. So on the moving carriers, you may find a couple of artifacts, a couple of strange lines appearing. And I'm not sure if that's to do with the arresting wires or something of that sort. Go and research that yourself. I'm going to link a forum post down below, in fact, which goes into that a little bit. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is. I've noticed as well, well, I'll talk about this. Let's talk about the hangars. You've got 3 hangars here. So there's 2 on this side. And there's 1 behind me. I'm going to line myself up with the 1 behind here in the Quickie. So what I'm going to do is click on the quick taxi and show you this in operation. So I've got cool. I've not got the quick taxi turned on. That's better. So quick taxi just means I can use my controls to get there a little bit easier, per se. There we go. I just line myself up. There's a hangar behind here which I'll show. Line myself up on it and show you another neat feature of this module. There you go. So I'm not sure what those lines, you can see them quite clearly now in the back. Not sure what that is. Gonna leave it in the video. I was just gonna concentrate on the static ones to leave them out, but you know, I want to be transparent with what comes with the module as well, or some of the bugs maybe that comes with it. Or it's more to do with the sim, I believe. Now I'm on that hangar, I can click this icon and it will take me down into the bowels of the carrier. Let's go down. Now something else I'll mention here, if you try this on the static carriers, I tried it on the San Diego static carrier, the hangars are not really modeled properly and you can't seem to enter them for some reason. So it seems to only work for me on the moving carriers. So you've got aircraft down below as well on the moving carriers. And we should be able to enter them, as you can see though. This is something you would only find in DCS World as a rule. It's nice to see this come to Microsoft Flight Sim. And remember, it's only just over £14 this module. It's not going to cost you a lot. And it seems to have quite a lot of features for what you get with it. Now, let's get into this. So I should be able to taxi into here with no problem. Famous last words, yes I can. Notice on the static ones, like I said, I couldn't taxi into the hangar, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Yeah, I'm not taking off, my friend, I'm just... There we go, so we'll taxi over here. And I wonder, now which hangar bay is that one next to me? Can I take that one back up and bring this down? Let's bring them both down just to see what happens here. See if I can get this hangar to come down. As you can see internally though, look at that. That is brilliant. And if you want to, you can just spawn straight in the hangar. So if you want to start a flight in the hangar, yeah, look, that hangar bay is coming down so I can get back up on deck. I think with this one, there might be aircraft on here, so it may be a tight squeeze. But I know the one over here, yeah, you see there's aircraft on there already. Can I get on there anyway? Anyway, you get the idea. So that's the hangar bay module. I just think that's brilliant. For this price, it's a bit of a steal, isn't it? Let me show you more features. So there you go, let me show you another neat feature with this carrier. Before I do, let me just go to settings. You can toggle, that's a landing signal officer on our officer will speak to you about landing, that type of thing. You've got a couple of options here that you can play around with. There's also a sync multiplayer, where is it? Sync multiplayer auto sync. And if you go to here, you can just read this. When you click this button, the carrier is repositioned to line up with other players. The position is based on real world time. The position resets every whole hour. Isn't that neat? So if you've got a few of you who want to do multiplayer flights in jets on this carrier, starting in the parking bays and goodness knows what, could be a lot of fun. Let me just show you one more feature. Let's go to the approach. And it'll put you on an approach for the carrier. Better put some engine power into my quickie. I didn't. And shouldn't be too difficult, this, you would think, in the quickie. Famous last words. Doesn't have a hook to hook onto the wires, but let's see if I can land on this carrier. So if you're in a jet or whatever aircraft you fancy and you want to land on this carrier, and imagine a group, a number of you, watch out. We'll either do a Discord only flight or maybe some kind of live stream. Let's hope a few of us in the Discord get this module. Now it's telling, see, signal officer's telling me I'm low. Right for lineup. There is a landing thing here, so you can keep an eye on that. Keep it in the middle there. Oops. Yep. Gone over the middle. Okay. Not doing a brilliant job, so I'm just going to visually concentrate here. I'm going to go off the edge, aren't I? Even in the quickie. Oh, okay, let me get back. I'll just go on parking. That's fine. And let me wrap up on this module. In fact, what I'll do, I'll remove this box here. Flow, get out of the way. Get into my drone cam. Reset the view. And talk about this module. Do I recommend this? 100%. As soon as Steve Chunsley was showing this on a stream on Discord, I thought, I've got to get this. I've only seen this kind of functionality in DCS World. It's not quite DCS World standard, of course. That is pretty much the professional place for jets and supercarriers and these kind of modules. The fidelity there is obviously a little bit better than this. But for Microsoft Flight Sim, I really don't expect this kind of module in there. It's good that companies and organisations are trying something different. And for what's there, there's a couple of caveats on the moving carriers. You get a couple of artifacts. On these static ones, I really do seem to have issues trying to get into the hangar bays. Not sure what's going on there, but maybe there'll be an update for the module. Well worth it for the price. It's PC Microsoft Flight Sim only at the moment, but I can imagine this will come to the marketplace for both PC and Xbox simmers. Do let me know your thoughts on the video. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon.